Hello and welcome to chapter 155 of our streaming adventure. The plan for today, this is our inaugural Tuesday Brews Day that we had coined the term for the new year, what my new schedule was theoretically going to look like. And I am glad that I didn't say, oh, yeah, Monday should be fine and stream yesterday because, I was... After, I'm lucky that where I work around the holiday, we had a prolonged shutdown period at the plant. And so that kind of first day back to work, when I've gotten used to being around home and stuff, and it's not like that. That's why they call it work. So I am glad that I planned ahead and gave myself the luxury of having that Monday off, because otherwise I would have been a mess. Not that I'm doing too much better today. I'm always kind of a mess, but no, the intent was that Tuesday would also give me an extra day to kind of look back over the weekend, see what had performed well, maybe in a challenge, or if I read an article, or I watched a video, or I saw something that kind of like caught my eye. That is the intent behind what Tuesday Brews Day is supposed to be, is not necessarily have to be something tried and true, but something that it's like, oh, that's interesting, and let's take that idea and let's tweak this and let's mess with this and probably make it worse and put Time Vault in because that's what I do. And once we've done all that, well, then that's what we play. So, interestingly enough, all of that plan came together on Saturday when I was streaming the challenge. And then on Sunday, as the ManaTraders series was doing their monthly Swiss tournament in top 8, the news came out that January's ManaTraders series would qualify, or I should say, would be vintage based. And obviously, vintage is what got us started here. Vintage, I don't want to say first love, because that's not true, because I definitely played other things before I played vintage. But vintage is the thing that I think really calls to me, and definitely when my magic renaissance of after I kind of got further away from the game, when I came back to it, was the monthly vintage events at RIW Hobbies, ran by the Librarian of Lang himself, and it rekindled my fire for Magic in general, and I'm so glad that it did. And that's the bigger picture of what has brought us here now, going to the Eternal Weekend, stuff like that. So that's why for it to be vintage is, it's like, it's not like a hidden fist pump. It's like, yes, right out in the open. So how to decide to what to play in ManaTraders. Now, that's another thing I wanted to do. Let's look back at ManaTrader series of the past. When we've done like the qualifying period for ManaTraders, you have to play, and it might as well just pull up the rules, because it doesn't hurt to refresh. Okay. So for the ManaTrader series, the qualifier league, you play at your own pace, but like the software from the website will pair you up. And the idea is across with a minimum of 10 matches. If you have a 70% win percent as you're playing, imagine like you've unlocked the Swiss, you've unlocked the month-end Swiss, and then you can keep playing even if you dip below that 70%. If in that first set of 10 matches you're 8-2, 7-3, you hit that 70% threshold, even if you lose match 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like all in a row, in that first 10, you hit your 70%, you're good for the end of the month. Say you don't quite hit that 70% in the first, if you make it to 20 matches, now it's down to 65%. So you need to win 13 out of your first 20, and then that's your 65%. Or if it continues on, and maybe you get a bad run in there, at 30 or more matches, you only need 60%. So that's 18 out of 30. Now, that first threshold of only 10 matches, that might qualify you for the Swiss, but there is also a leaderboard that runs. And that leaderboard, you have to play a minimum of 20 matches and able to qualify, let's say, for that leaderboard. So once you do, there is a subset of prizes for the qualifying round versus the end of month tournament. And so it'll list you, or actually I would have to go into, it will list your leaderboard. Let me pull it up. Okay, so then down here it'll tell you, okay, I currently have not played any matches. Therefore, I have not won any matches, and if I hit 7 more in this first stretch, check mark. Now, it'll also keep the math running for you, which is helpful. And then down here, it's telling you January 30th, that's the Swiss tournament, with January 31st being the top 8 playoff. Okay? And then here are people that have played their minimum 20 matches. Some people have more, 21, 24, 27. Until you hit that 20, you don't appear on the leaderboard. But then, like we were saying, at the end of the month, we're going to pay out here. Now, here, this is the other line in the sand. When you start the ManaTraders series, if you're already a subscriber, sweet, good to go. You are qualified for the larger prize pool, 10 times as much, by being a subscriber. You can't win all the matches in the world and then be like, oh, I want to retroactively pay that money. No, you have to subscribe prior to starting your matches. But, I mean, even in the smaller leaderboard, 1,000, 500, it's not bad. And then combined together, that's where the total prize pool being 15,000. So, as you can see right now, 8 people have managed to play the matches they need to hit that 20. Now, the lowest of them is currently at 38.7% win percentage. That's not likely to remain in 8th place on the leaderboard, especially as the month progresses. But as of right now, our friend Slasher is rocking 51% in 6th place. Sorry, Slasher. You started at 6-4. Oh, when you're like that one match away, and then it's like, okay, you only need to win 2-3 in a row, and then as you progress on the bar and you get 1 win, and then you lose that next one, it's like, all right, you need to get 2 more in a row, and you win one, and then it's like you lose. I've had that many months, and it's so frustrating, and I'm sorry. I hope you can. Where are you at? You're at 16 out of 31. I hope you can win 5 more and then jump right back up there. Oh. Did you do it by changing decks, or did you stick with one deck? Because that's one thing I have the tendency to do, is stick with one deck. And then it kind of feels like you're riding the highs and the lows. Although, I think it was Modern. It was Modern where I started with the one deck, went 1 and 3, audibled out of it, and then won 8 in a row. But because I had started the 1 and 3, I was always just short of making it. The majority of yours have been chops. That makes sense. So I just wanted to go back in time and look at prior ManaTraders events of when we were playing something, what were we running into? So this looks like Legacy. and I don't have a date. This is in August. So back in August when it was Legacy, we ran into Rug Delver, Esper Vial, Elves, Sneak and Show, Green Black Depths, Loam, Pokepile, Rug Delver, Lands, Dredge, Echoes. So it's like I feel like it kept bouncing all over the place, but those are all real decks. I mean, it is a variety, but they're at least real decks. Here's more ManaTraders. Blue Black Shadow, Rug, Hogak, Burn, Omniscience. Wow, we went all the way to 31 matches with that one. So like that's the thing, is we went pretty deep on that series. Here, I'm looking for another month. Maybe I didn't. Did I not play in September? Because here's November. November was Legacy again. Bant Infect, Rug Infect, Mono Red Prison, Rug Delver, Landfall Prowess. No, that's Landfall Burn. Blue Red Delver, Hogak, Urza Echoes, Grixis Delver, Esper, Snow, Death and Taxes. So I mean, once again, they're at least all real decks, even though it's a variety. Although Rug Infect, I don't know if that's a real deck. And then okay, so modern ManaTraders, Prowess, the Dryad deck, Amulet deck, and then a whole bunch of people that were playing Stoneforge Mystic. There was a whole run of Stoneforge Mystic people. And then the Hammer Time deck. We managed to beat that once, and then we got smashed by it later. So that was December. So now we're on to January. So that's the question is, do we expect a variety of decks, or... And I guess that's the thing is we do expect a variety of decks, but it's like, what's the quality going to be for people entering? Like, are they gonna go to MTG Goldfish and say, oh, the best deck is Xerox, I should play Xerox, and therefore we should be playing something that attacks that? Or are they going to be like, well, the cheapest deck to play, the cheapest deck is Golos, or the cheapest deck is Dredge, so I'm going to play that, and then I should be picking a deck that picks on those. And that's part of the problem for me, is the type of deck that I would use to pick on Xerox, for example, is not the same deck I would try to use to pick on Dredge or Stax. So I guess that's what's interesting for me, is what direction do I want to take it? And a lot of my thought was, if we went and looked at, recent, so like if we look at the last league results that came out, or we can pull up the challenges from the weekend. So if we go oldest in time, so this challenge, the winner was Xerox, but what they beat in the finals was the Honcho buy on, it's like a Bazaar of Baghdad with a lot of Squeak, Provoking Horror, things that are going to come back to their hand, so that literally you're just tapping a land and just drawing 2 cards every turn. And obviously, when you hear how powerful Library of Alexandria is, that just kind of makes it embarrassing. So, I don't know. Overall, I do think, and that's the thing, is I don't have to win everything. I don't have to win the whole tournament. I just need to have a deck that'll be consistent and will perform well over time. So maybe that's just Breach, or maybe it's just Xerox. Let's see what their Xerox list is. Dreadhorde, Lavinia's, Snapcaster, Monastery Mentor, Dak, Narset, Teferi. I mean, this seems basically as straightforward Xerox Xerox as they come. Now, playing something like this is going to give me a chance against a variety of decks. It's the same principle as if you if I was going to sign up for like a challenge on the weekend, I would want to play something that's going to be more well-rounded, maybe. So being able to kind of take on all comers might be worth it. But at the same time, it's like, but what if I played something that feels broken? You know, like if you play, like here's one of the people that beat us. Collector Oof could mess with the various paradoxical. Now that's the thing is, are people going to play paradoxical and stuff like that? So it's a big guessing game, really. Am I going to outguess myself of what do I expect or what do I not expect? All right, this would be the second challenge, won by Oath of Druids. So that's won by Oath of Druids is certainly its own thing. But so if we were to, not to pick on you, but if we looked at Slasher's deck, what I like about Slasher's deck is that it's using the power of main deck Leyline of the Void. And with how the format is set up right now, that certainly feels like a good place. Now, the thing that we tried to play a similar version to this before. We ran through a league with it, and I think went like 1-4. We called it Saturn Shops. That the thing I dislike about Chops decks in general is just not having the access to the blue cards. Like, you don't have Force of Will to bail you out. You don't have Ancestral to draw 3 more nonsense cards, Time Walk, things like that. So, as powerful as I think playing this is, I don't know if I can get myself to play this. And maybe that's the problem, is maybe I should be considering it. But at the same time, I'm also looking at, like, say, well, not that one. I thought that was going to be a bug deck. How foolish of me. Sultai midrange. So, Sultai should be something that gives you a chance to compete against the shops and Bazaar. Like when Karn was unrestricted and the Mystic Forge, and Shops was just running rampant, the thing that kept it in check was Bug by having Assassin's Trophies, and you could Force of Vigor them or Energy Flux or whatever and really punish the Shops decks, while at the same time relying on Deathrite Shaman and other things to punish like Dredge style thing that was also trying to play, I don't want to say off center, but from a different angle. So this is the other thing that I was really considering, especially because I believe Montolio is not called that online. I forgot. Montolio played. He did Shops. I thought he did well with. Okay, yeah, he 5-0'd with Bug, similar to his challenge list, adding a Thoughtseize to increase like your chances of fighting through stuff. So 13th in the one challenge, and then in the other challenge, swapped over, and then topped 8 with Shops. So as opposed to what Slasher was playing, which is probably, I guess, a better term would say Golos-based shops. This instead is using Ravager to be proactive, and you're putting out spheres, you're putting out thorns and stuff like that by having Fleet Wheel Cruiser to be even more aggressive. And in a thing where people might be learning the format, might not properly recognize, what hands they can keep or can't keep. I get today is supposed to be Tuesday Brews Day. I'm supposed to try something different. Well, I don't want that. So, did he have a different name here? Played the 3 a.m. Vintage Challenge. Is that not... That's a league. Did I close the challenge already? I might have. Played the 3 a.m. Vintage Challenge. And then bowed out. But I'm not seeing Montolio here. Interesting. Are they reported backwards? That's super weird. Why would he say... Or was he in the Mox qualifier? Oh, no. This is way farther back. This is December 20th. So that's why. It's even further back. That's why I didn't go far enough back. Well, no, I was just looking at the wrong... What do you call it? Okay, so here's his Ravager shops from the 7th. And then here would have been... They're probably the same. No. What did he trim? Added Metamorphs is the newer version. Trimming a stone coil serpent. The other one had Fleet Wheel Cruiser. So this is relying on Fleet Wheel Cruiser, Mystic Forge, Sky Sovereign. And this one doesn't have... I feel like I like the other one more. Like Mystic Forge. Now, I am a sucker for Sky Sovereign because when I play the Hull Breacher, Karn, Echoes deck in Legacy, I tutor up Sky Sovereign and just shoot people in the head, and it feels great. But this is saying Sky Sovereign pulled its weight against other shops, Bug, and Hollowvine by removing critical pieces, would make no changes. I mean, I can't really tell Montolio that he's wrong about shops. That's sacrilegious. And then he changed his own deck. But maybe he had time to think about it over Christmas. Yeah, this version is Steel Overseer version, and I don't know, I like this one. All right. This will be my brew, quote unquote, because I don't really play shops. I am not a shopsy person. That's not true. I like Mishra's Workshop when I can tap it and cast Time Vault. I really like it then. But if I can tap Mishra's Workshop and put a vault and a key into play and follow that up, play a Mox and then just win, that part's great. What deck is capable of streaking out 8 wins in a row? I'm hoping this. My plan, Slasher, my plan here is to just believe in the heart of Mishra's Workshop, believe in the heart of the cards. In Montolio, I trust. So what? I need a Karn icon. Whoa, caps lock. Montolio shops. Okay. What are we missing? We are missing powder kegs and a Grafdigger's Cage. Oh, we have weirdo revokers. Take my quantity to 0. I don't like those spheres of resistance either. All right. Oh, I need to get one more walking ballista. All right, I need, yes, one more of this art, please. So now, put our missing cards on a wish list. Export that wish list. And then invoke ManaTraders. Upload our file of our wish list. Rent the deck, please. It would only take 43 tickets for me to get all these cards. Not bad, not bad. Sorry to hear that, Slasher. Okay. Go ahead and shut that down. ManaTraders is finding me the cards I need. Open our trade. Where's a precursor golem? I saw it on this list here and it kind of threw me off. Okay. Bum bum bum. Okay. So it still gave me the 2 different arts. Whatever. I'll live with it. Kind of annoying, but sure. All right. So this will be our weapon of choice. And now we will bring up ManaTraders. So we're going to start with shops. Let's see how far shops can get us. So I would like to, and this is literally what it takes. You log into your ManaTraders account, and on the side here it says ManaTrader Series January. Okay, I would like to play a match now. You have a subscription. You would receive full prizes for this tournament. If you cancel your subscription or go into vacation before mode, okay, but that's not going to happen. So with our subscription, we are eligible for big prizes. Sounds good. Make sure my deck is loaded already. It is. Are we on Magic Online? We are. Let's navigate over to the Vintage Tournament Practice area. Okay. Start your client log. That's me. My deck's ready. Let's go. And then it'll do the pairings for us. So it's just that simple to get started. Then, once it has paired us, it'll either tell us whether I need to create the match or my opponent needs to create the match. And in doing so, we would go into the tournament practice, and it's waiting for Slasher, waiting for UTX Shiro, waiting for Chubi, and you create that, or they say they're looking for Jay Pinter. We join the match, we play the match, and then I don't even have to go like MTG Melee. I don't have to go submit my whatever. The ManaTrader software identifies who has won, and then gives it the credit, and then you hit play another match, play another match, play another match. And at the same time, it's going to keep track of our win rate and how many we've already played, how many we have left to play, whether we've qualified, all that jazz. So that's what I was really impressed with, how they've put this together, the ManaTrader series in general, all running through their website, even before #sponsored. So the things that I've seen other websites do, I've played in some MTG Melee events, and those have been fun. But I feel like, I don't want to say ManaTraders has done it better, but ManaTraders is the one I saw it do it first. So whether that's just my own perspective or what, but okay. So I will create the match. So waiting for Phantoman 95, create. Waiting for allow watchers, anyone can join. So now I've created that match. They have joined. We have won the die roll. And what do we got? We have turn 1. So turn 1, Foundry Inspector. With a turn, we could do a Foundry Inspector and a Walking Ballista on 1. Or turn 1, Foundry Inspector, second turn, second Inspector, Ballista on 2, and a Strip Mine, plus whatever else we draw. Now, I want to see how aggressive is this list. It's got Fleet Wheel Cruisers and stuff like that. Okay. I'll keep. So I think attacking for 4 next turn versus attacking for 3. So attack for 4, attack for 7, or attack for 3, attack for 8 are the same, but in the long term, the second number is better. So plus keeping Ballista in reserve lets me, say they're Dredge, for example. that opens up the chance to have Ballista kill itself and eliminate any bridges. Yep. Triple green. Sure. This is adorable. So this costs 2. So now if I attack, they either block or they don't. If they don't, so this is free for 1. I'm just going to put it out there as a chump block. And I'm going to keep the other card in my hand. I also can't pump it, though. That's something to keep in mind. It's not pumpable right now. But I also want to keep the other one in my hand for when I do want to go big. Imagine how much more powerful that opening hand would have been to have a Trinosphere effect, have a Mishra's Workshop even. Mishra's Workshop, I'd have tapped the first one. You're going to play a Strip Mine and eat my Ancient Tomb. I accept. So if I deploy this, I can deploy it for 2, and then that gives me 1 more creature to attack with next turn. So now, if they block with the oof, it suddenly turns on that much more damage. If we can get them to a point where... So now Root Walla is able to be pumped. It's a hard cast Hogak. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If they block this one, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. Hey, Thorn. So we swing with everything, they eat that. Okay. Bazaar, see if that can get him some... see if Bazaar can get them some more blockers. That was appropriate for an activation of a Bazaar. Especially, say they hit Vengevines and are able to trigger it, they could swing. They could potentially swing for enough. Chose not to attack. So if I don't block any of this, any... That one has trample. Draw land. Had we drawn... No, not had we drawn a land. Had we kept the strip mine, but then maybe they wouldn't have played it. One, two, three, four, five, six. I don't even have enough toughness to block everything. Okay. They just had that anyway, so then it didn't even matter. They had main deck Force of Vigor. No, we're dead. Okay. So... I think we want to be able to And I feel like some of this, I guess Defense Grid is an anti-Force of Vigor card. But maybe if I can get on the board first. Chalice of the Void's another one that's not amazing against them. Maybe that first hand just didn't do enough that I kept, especially for what they ended up being. Maybe the kind of things I want are these big threats. Or these X's. So my thought is, I mean, Leyline has the potential to be good against them. But it's not everything. And then is Defense Grid really what I want? If I cut the spheres, because I'm really the one that's casting spells. Maybe that's not true, but maybe I haven't committed to having my face be the right card. Maybe that's the problem. Three for this, which makes this cost 3, which I could play off of Mana Crypt. So they mulligan a 6. So my thought is Workshop, Inspector. Wait. I was going to play this quote for 3. I can't play that card for 3. I was upgrading Mana Crypt's abilities in my head. So yeah, let's not play it yet. Because next turn, I would say, are they just going to cash in Force of Vigor there? All right, let's see what this gives them. Now, the better question is, should I actually have played Lodestone Golem on the first turn? And I would say, theoretically, yes. Right? So, this costs 1, 3, 4. Okay, I could get 3 more mana and swing in I think I want to use the Wasteland, though. I could put Ballista out there for 1, but that doesn't feel worth it. Just want to maximize, I think, value. All right, what do you got? Do you have another Bazaar? Bayou. Tails never fails. See? Force of Vigor incoming. Based on that pause. I mean, we'll see if I'm right, but it feels like I'm right. Paying costs. They are going after Inspector and Load Zone. I think both of those make sense. I mean, they're my biggest ones, so of course it kind of makes sense. So I can go over them and give myself a 5/5. No sense in attacking. They found another Bazaar. And every time Bazaar activates, it's just like, well, how much more can it throw into play for free? So speaking of, there's Hogak, which they will recur. So if I were to kill a Root Wallet in response, 1, 2, 3, 4. This needs 7 total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, they're still going to get it regardless. Yeah, they're gonna outsize me with Hogak again, and I'll just be a little bit short. Force of Vigor is a hell of a card. I mean, it's why they play the card in their deck, right? They wanted to keep an Assassin's Trophy in the... Okay. Attack with your hollow one for no good reason. Tails. Ooh. Deathrite Shaman. I guess it makes more sense. Doomsday and Breach. Yeah, so what I was bringing up before, Thorn, is that it feels that it's not like everybody's going to go to like one particular deck. You're going to hit like a variety of decks. So you still want to be able to... You still want to be prepared for multiple things. So that's the only... 5, 6, 7. I would need one more power. One, two, three, four. Could they just bring it right back? They could fire up Deathrite Shaman and get it back. What are you doing? Block! Oh, you idiot. Could have just saved 5 life, but apparently I chose not to. Good job. Yep. As soon as I didn't do it, I realized it. That's the problem when you play decks that you're not used to. Drawing some sweet ones here. Beep, beep. You always forget about something on it. Rawr. What were you playing, Slasher, and what were they playing? But congrats, by the way. Why am I not at 5 more life? I'll tell you why. This dummy chose not to be. Combo shops first bug. Cool. Why is Black Lotus exiled? From Hogak. Well, they got Hogak over there. All right, so Block, shoot. Block, shoot. Block, block. I know, but I completely forgot about blocking last time. That was the problem. I should be at 5 more life, but I'm an idiot. Okay. So if I block like this, shoot there. I take 3, 4, 5. I do have the Mana Crypt flip. Why don't we just win the Mana Crypt flip? How about that? Tails never fails. So, had I not screwed up the first one, had I not just blocked and gave away 5 life, yeah, it was flat out stupid is what it was, but not being familiar, not thinking about it. Okay. We've played 1 match, but we didn't win it. But hey, just win 7 more.